Amora Nwosu balanced a steaming pot of egusi soup on her hip while steadying her youngest daughter with the other arm. Her twin boys, Chima and Chidi, tussled noisily on the sofa while their sister, Adiz, struggled to fix her worn school sandal with a rubber band. Life was never quiet in their cramped apartment, yet it was all Amora could afford. She scrubbed floors during the day and braided hair late into the night, every naira stretched, every grain of rice rationed. Her children never saw her break. She carried her exhaustion like a secret, wearing only her smile in front of them. At 19, Amora had entered the lavish mansion of the Obianwu family as a housemaid. That was where she met Kelechi Obianwu. He had returned from abroad, arrogant and privileged, yet unlike the others, he noticed her. What began as casual talk turned into whispered promises and secret encounters. When Amora became pregnant, Kelechi's silence was deafening. His parents spat cruel words, throwing money at her like she was filth. He let them. He never defended her. She left broken, her belly swelling with twins, vowing to survive on her own. Years later, Kelechi stood atop the gleaming Obianwu Tower in Lagos, 34 years old and celebrated as a ruthless mogul. To the world, he was a self-made tycoon, though only he knew of the wealth funneled discreetly by his father. Power was his armor, relationships his weakness. He dated without emotion, bought affection he could never feel, and wore his detachment like steel. Yet buried deep inside was the memory of Amora, the one woman who had made him feel alive, the same woman his family had destroyed. Amora, on the other hand, pushed forward. She sold the only inheritance her parents left her, a small plot of land in Enugu, to move her children into a modest apartment in Lekki. Her dream was to finish nursing school, a dream that had once felt impossible after leaving the Obianwu mansion with nothing but tears. With grit, she worked through classes by day and hospital shifts by night. A senior doctor, Dr. Ifini, saw her brilliance and gave her chances others wouldn't. Every day was a cycle of blood, books, school runs, and weary prayers. Her children, though only 6, loved her fiercely. They became her strength, her hope, her reason. Meanwhile, Kelechi lived in hollow luxury. His marriage to Vanessa, daughter of a senator, had been arranged to secure political power for his family. Vanessa was glamorous, entitled, and cruel. Their union was a transaction, not love. She spent his money recklessly and sneered at his existence. For 6 years, he endured, his soul corroding quietly under the weight of duty. He had everything money could buy, yet he had never been emptier. One stormy night, after yet another humiliating confrontation, Kelechi drove into the Lagos rain, his heart raging, his thoughts spiraling. The crash came suddenly, metal twisting, glass shattering. Silence. Days later, he awoke in a sterile hospital room, battered and broken. The doctors delivered a final blow. He would never father a child again. His parents hovered, cold and fearful of the scandal. Kelechi's rage erupted, at them, at himself, at the years wasted. For the first time, he saw his life for what it was, a prison built by his family's ambition. It was in that very hospital that fate stirred again. During her rounds, Amora stepped into a dimly lit room, speaking softly to a silent patient. Then she heard her name. That voice. That memory. Her heart stopped as Kelechi turned, his bruised face unmistakable. Their eyes locked after years of silence, and the ground beneath her shifted. She fled, tears blinding her, only to collide with the last person she wanted to see, Mrs. Obianwu, Kelechi's mother. The same woman who once spat venom at her feet. The past had found Amora, and it was merciless. Kelechi couldn't erase the image of Amora in his hospital room. He hired an investigator, and soon he had answers. Amora Nwosu, living in Lekki, raising 3 children, his children. The twins mirrored his face. Adiz carried Amora's smile. His hands trembled as he held the photograph. He had to see them. Not to claim, but to apologize, to beg for peace. He arrived quietly, leaving his convoy behind. At the door, a small boy opened it, eyes wide, smile crooked. Kelechi nearly collapsed. Behind him appeared another boy, then a little girl with a crayon drawing. His children. When Amora emerged from the kitchen, she froze, nearly dropping the food she carried. He fell to his knees, tears spilling, words breaking apart. "I'm sorry," he choked, voice shaking. "I let them destroy us. I was a coward. I thought I'd forget. I never did. Not one day." Amora stood rigid, her arms folded tightly across her chest. Her children had retreated to their room, confused by the strange man who looked like them. She finally spoke, her voice steady but weary. I don't have time for games, Kelechi. I built this life alone. If you want to know them, if you're truly going to stay, not disappear when it suits you, then yes. But this isn't about us. It's about them. He nodded, broken but relieved. For the first time in years, hope glimmered. The weeks that followed were tentative. Chima, cautious by nature, kept his distance. Chidi peppered Kelechi with endless questions. Adiz, bold and curious, asked if he could braid hair. Kelechi stumbled but tried, reading parenting books, watching cartoons he didn't understand, showing up consistently. Slowly, the children warmed. One day, Chidi asked softly, "Can I call you Daddy?" Kelechi cried in the living room, holding the boy close. Vanessa, meanwhile, spiraled deeper into her reckless lifestyle. Photos of her with Kelechi's business partner surfaced, humiliating him publicly. When confronted, she laughed in his face. That night, Kelechi realized the truth. He was done. Done with the marriage, the charade, the prison his family forced him into. He left, driving into the rain-soaked night, his mind a storm of regrets and questions. The crash changed everything. In the sterile hospital room, the diagnosis shattered him. Infertile. Permanently. His parents urged him to secure an heir by seizing Amora's children. His mother even suggested taking them to court for custody. Kelechi's fury ignited. You destroyed her once. You destroyed me. And now you want to steal her children? You are monsters. For the first time, he cast them out, vowing never to return. The accident, painful as it was, became Kelechi's awakening. He was done being a puppet. He was done hiding behind power and image. For the first time, he chose for himself. And he chose Amora, even if she hadn't chosen him back yet. He began spending weekends with the children, showing up for school events, helping with homework, even attempting Adiz's elaborate hairstyles. He learned patience, humility, and the quiet joy of presence. Slowly, Amora noticed. He wasn't the same man she once knew, the coward who stayed silent as his family spat cruelty at her. This Kelechi bent, adapted, and gave without demanding. Yet the past wouldn't die quietly. One Saturday, after returning from a family outing, they found Kelechi's parents waiting outside. His father, stern and unyielding, his mother cloaked in false concern. Take the children, his father proposed coldly. Raise them properly, and return to Vanessa. We can control the narrative. Kelechi laughed, sharp and bitter. You're still dreaming. I'm done with your games. You never built me, you bought me. Amora gave me more with a single look than you ever did with all your wealth. His mother hissed, you'd throw away everything, power, legacy, respect. Respect, he snapped. From strangers who don't even know me? I'd rather have my children's laughter than your headlines. And for the record, I'll marry Amora with or without your blessing. He left them standing in silence, shutting the gate firmly behind him. For the first time in years, he felt free. Kelechi showed his transformation daily, not with grand gestures, but with small, steady actions. He washed dishes after dinner, read bedtime stories, and built a volcano for Chima's science project. He brought flowers, not as apologies, but as gratitude. He never pushed Amora, never rushed her. He simply stayed. Over time, her walls softened. One rainy evening, as he stirred stew in her kitchen, she admitted quietly, I don't see you as the man who left me anymore. I see you as the man who's been fighting to return. His heart nearly stopped. When she finally agreed to marry him, it wasn't with fireworks but with quiet certainty. Their children cheered the loudest at the news. For Kelechi, redemption had finally begun. The wedding was intimate, beautiful, and free of pretense. Amora walked down the aisle in lace, radiant and strong, their children leading the way. Kelechi wept openly as he held her hands, whispering vows simple and raw. I promise to never be a coward again. Amora replied, and I promise never to carry it alone again. For the first time, their union was theirs, not orchestrated by family or tainted by shame. The Obianwes, humbled at last, came forward with apologies. We destroyed the best parts of you, his father confessed, and nearly lost our grandchildren without knowing them. Amora, quiet and steady, replied, I forgave you long ago. Hate was heavier than raising 3 children alone. Their home became a sanctuary of noise and joy. School shoes scattered in hallways, drawings taped on walls, laughter echoing through once quiet rooms. Amora finished nursing school, later founding her own pediatric clinic with Kelechi's support. She became Dr. Amora Obianwu, a woman who had rebuilt not just her life but her legacy. The world still saw Kelechi as a billionaire CEO, but at home, he was simply daddy. He helped with homework, sneaked snacks, and hummed badly in the kitchen. Together, they built a life grounded not in wealth or image, but in love, trust, and second chances. Months later, Amara discovered she was pregnant. The doctors had said it was nearly impossible, but fate had other plans. When she told Kelechi, he fell to his knees once more, not in sorrow, but in gratitude. They named the child Ifunanya, love, a symbol of everything they had fought for, lost, and found again. Years later, the Obianwu estate no longer echoed with cold silences but with warmth. Morning pancakes replaced stiff boardroom breakfasts. Children's laughter filled the air where once only ambition spoke. Amora's clinic, Hope Springs Pediatrics, thrived as a haven for mothers and children alike. Her name shone proudly on its glass doors, a testament to resilience. Kelechi, once the untouchable tycoon, had become a man content in jeans and a t-shirt, carrying his youngest daughter against his chest while helping Adiz rehearse her school play. Chima strummed a guitar under the mango tree, while Chidi sketched superheroes in the garden. Their lives were stitched together not by money, but by the choices they made to love again. One evening, as they sipped tea on the balcony, Amora whispered, "Do you ever think about how it began?" Kelechi nodded. "Every day. I still can't believe we made it." She leaned against him. "We saved each other." And they sat beneath the Lagos night sky, no longer haunted by their past, but anchored by their present. Their story was not perfect. It was scarred, rebuilt, and scarred again. But in choosing love, they rewrote the ending. For Amora and Kelechi, love was not the naive flame of youth, but the steady fire of second chances. A legacy their children would inherit, not in wealth, but in strength, forgiveness, and hope.